I'm delighted that Carol Vorderman has herself got embroiled in the sexism row over Lord Bailey, this prat who was ennobled by Boris Johnson in his resignation honours. That's a bit of an oxymoron, isn't it? But yeah, she has branded him directly a misogynist, which of course he is. She says, so Shaun thinks that women who wear lycra in the gym shouldn't be allowed a political opinion, or I assume a vote. And she's quite right. It doesn't really matter what your appearance is, what you're wearing. The whole idea of suffrage is that everybody is entitled to a vote and everybody is entitled to an opinion. It may be wrong, it may be right, it doesn't matter. But you aren't, your opinion is not defined by your appearance and by what you're wearing. And Shaun Bailey's comments specifically about her bum and her boobs are expressly misogynistic. Now, I want to take up an issue with Shelley Lyme, who keeps pointing out that simply because I have raised objections to people like Nadine Dorries and Priti Patel and what's her name, Suella Braverman, therefore I must be a misogynist. This is absurd. The fact that three people who I identify as being very poor MPs, I've identified other people who I think are poor MPs, Robert Jenrick, Matt Hancock, at times Jacob Rees-Mogg, though I'm ambivalent about his quality as an MP. I'm not ambivalent about condemning him for moonlighting on GB News. I actually think he's quite good on GB News, but I think he needs to make a decision about which on which side of the fence he's sitting. And I don't think he should be taking money from both a television station and from the Parliament at the same time. So, yes, the fact that I should criticise somebody doesn't make me a misogynist. The gender is irrelevant. The problem is their incompetence, not their gender. If I were to specify their gender as being the reason why I disapproved of them, then I would be a misogynist. If I were to make disparaging comments, as Shaun Bailey did about her bum and her boobs, then I would be a misogynist. But I haven't. So the fact that I've said things which Shelley Lyme doesn't like doesn't make me as a misogynist, and she is utterly wrong. So I point that out just to make it very clear. There is a big distinction here. Shaun Bailey is a pillock, and I presume Shelley Lyme is not going to turn round and say that simply because Shaun Bailey is black, I'm a racist. That would be as absurd as well. Shaun Bailey has behaved appallingly, and has misused his position, and has specifically been abusive. That is why I draw attention to him. That is why Vorderman draws attention to him. Or are you going to suggest that Carol Vorderman is also a racist? Because that's where your line of argument comes from, Shelley. It's wrong. But yeah, in this particular case, I'm delighted that Carol Vorderman has spoken out. I hope more people speak out, and I hope more people call out Shaun Bailey for the prejudice and for the cheap childish way he behaves. Thank God he didn't get elected mayor. But I don't think we've got a very good choice at the moment between either the sitting mayor or the Conservative opponent. And Lawrence Fox has made noises about wanting to cast his name into the fray again. And I think actually Lawrence Fox would be an interesting candidate, a worthier candidate than the current two that are currently fighting it out between themselves. I think it's such a shame that Rory Stewart cannot be persuaded to stand again.